Yeah guys, I'm still behind on movie reviews. I have seen 8 movies that I just haven't reviewed yet, and hopefully I can get 1 or 2 out of the way today. Now, since I'm still going backwards rather than doing the oldest first, so we'll go with the movie that I saw on Saturday, and we did not see Finding Dory on Saturday because we figured it would be packed with kids and we didn't want to deal with a lot of talking kids because that tends to happen to us. So we saw Central Intelligence instead, and it was a pleasant surprise. Central Intelligence stars Kevin Hart and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. It starts off with these two characters in high school. Kevin Hart is the athletic, the popular kid in school, the most likely to succeed, while Dwayne Johnson is the geeky fat kid in high school. Well, I'm sure you've seen this in the trailers. The bullies perform a horrible, horrid prank on Dwayne Johnson.
Let's wreck him.
And Kevin Hart's character is the only one that does a small, nice gesture. Gives him a helping hand. Or in this case, his jacket. Well, jump forward into the present. Kevin Hart's character hasn't done a lot with his life. Now he's some sort of forensic accountant of some sort. Through means I won't spoil, he gets into touch with Dwayne Johnson's character again, who is now a CIA spy. And now Dwayne Johnson needs Kevin Hart's help in order to solve this big case. To find this evil bad guy who is selling off CIA secrets to the black market. And that's a very general gist of the film. I have to say I was a little hesitant seeing this movie, because even though the trailers did look like it could be a funny movie, but a lot of the Kevin Hart films that I have seen, I'm sure he actually has good films that I just haven't seen yet, but the ones I have seen have been mediocre or just kinda They haven't really hit big with me yet. But I do like Kevin Hart, and I do really like Dwayne Johnson, and so I definitely wanted to give it a try. Turns out, it was actually really funny. Let's get this out of the way first. The best part of this movie, by far, is both Kevin Hart and Dwayne Johnson together in this film. They are both really funny. They both have great comedic chemistry. They're a blast to watch. And they both acted really well with these characters. For one, Kevin Hart isn't the over-the-top crazy person that Kevin Hart usually is in his movies. And there definitely is bits of his comedic style in this film. But for the most part, he is the straight guy. He's the average Joe. He's the one that's put into this situation, this crazy situation that we're supposed to relate to, because this is the type of character we would be in this crazy, messed up situation.
Which car are we taking?
Not that one.
Oh my God. Oh God.
And so yes, he does go over the top at times when he needs to, because it's a crazy situation.
Did you see that, Mom? I did the thing! I did the thing, Mom! Yeah!
For the most part, it is toned down a lot for Kevin Hart, and he does show some acting skill. I found him a funny and more relatable character than most of his other characters in comedies. And as always, Dwayne Johnson is a blast to watch on screen. He definitely is that action hero, but he's a little different in this one, being that he is a geeky action hero. The film definitely plays off the fact that in high school he was this geeky fat kid. And there's a great contrast between the fact that Dwayne Johnson looks and acts like an action hero during the action, but on the inside he's still that geeky kid from high school. A lot of the jokes, a lot of the immaturity is still in his character. I think the film does play off this very well in both a serious and comedic tone. Because not only is it funny because of the whole contrast of he's this big action hero, but he's still a geek on the inside, but it also delves into it a little more dramatically. Because not only is he a character that was bullied, and so now he wants to take out other bullies, which is why he's a CIA agent, but no matter how much he works out and no matter how buff he is now, he still can't stand up to his own personal bullies. And I know the tagline does play off the fact that Kevin Hart is short and Dwayne Johnson is tall and big, and their last names, because Hart and Johnson. But there definitely is heart in this film, and a really big heart at that. Despite there being over-the-top action sequences and craziness and really funny things, there are definitely moments where the film does feel very human, very down-to-earth. Now in this film, Dwayne Johnson's character completely idolizes Kevin Hart's character. He's the Golden Jet! Or Kevin Hart's character is. That was his nickname in high school.
No. You're crazy. No.
What's that?
What are you talking about? What's what?
Golden Jet.
No, stop it.
Golden Jet.
Okay, stop it.
Golden Jet.
All right.
Golden Jet. I'm not gonna stop until you do the Golden Jet flip.
Okay.
And Dwayne Johnson's character idolizes him because he was bullied completely in high school, and the only one to give him any ounce of dignity, anyone to actually give him a helping hand, was Kevin Hart during that crazy situation. A very simple, very human gesture. And that idolization almost tips over into the stalkery side. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if it does feel a little too stalkery for some people, but for me it was just right in that happy medium. Now, I won't give any away, there is a lot of great cameos in this film. If they're not shown in the trailer, I consider them as cameos because they are pretty big stars that have very small roles in this film. There's a great cameo in the end, and there's a cameo of one of the bullies as an adult, and it was surprising to see who that adult version of the bully was. Plus, there's a cameo of Dwayne Johnson's past partner that died in a mission. So I won't spoil any of those cameos, just look for those cameos and you might be surprised. And speaking of Dwayne Johnson's partner dying, I like that scene in this film because it's shown more than one time through different perspectives and different ideas on how that scene might have occurred. I like that. It played off of the actual person's perspective of the scene. And it does play off the question on whether Dwayne Johnson is this unstable double agent or if he's telling the truth. There's a lot of this movie I really liked. Unfortunately, there is a little bit that wasn't as strong as the rest of the film. For one, I really like the action sequences. The action sequences had a little bit of comedy within them without feeling too comedic or too action-y. You know, like serious action. There was a nice balance with each of those action sequences until the last action sequence where it becomes very dark and very serious throughout. To the point where there's very little comedic value within the actual action sequences at the end. Not to say there isn't any comedic aspects, it's just that it's not a great balance as the other action sequences. And I get that there are action comedies that become serious at the end of the film, but I don't feel this one made a good progression into the seriousness that makes the ending, the serious action ending, justified. The one thing I didn't feel was as strong in the movie was the item they were after, the secrets. It was like a MacGuffin, basically. But they try to add importance to it and why they need to get it and why they need to continue this mission. And it wasn't as strong as the rest of the film. I felt the characters and the things they were going through was more important to this movie than the actual what they had to get and who they had to stop. And there was a few comedic scenes that went on just a little too long. Now, I didn't feel bored by these scenes. I didn't feel like there was like, it's starting to get bad now. It just felt it was a little too long to the point where I was having a fun time with it. I was laughing with it. I thought it was a funny scene. But then I started thinking, okay, we're still on this scene though? It's funny, but we're still on this scene? One of those scenes being the marriage counselor scene. Loved it. It was a funny scene. But at the same time, I was thinking, okay, we're still on this joke. Can we move on past it? Is there real meaning to it? Which there is, but it felt like it was a little too long. In the end, I really liked Central Intelligence. I was pleasantly surprised. I'm going to give it 4 stars. So, did you see Central Intelligence? What did you think about it? Go ahead and comment below. And if you like this video and you want to see more, please subscribe and check out my movie reviews of 2015 and 2016. As always, this is Bruce Gifford, and this was Just My Opinion.